Well, let me be the first person to welcome you to biochemistry. I think it's a class that its reputation precedes it, and usually students come pretty scared. I'd say if you don't know me, you should be scared. No. It's just a tough course. You know why? Because it is a culmination of almost everything you've learned from general chemistry. We have gen chem concepts, organic concepts, biology concepts. And so it's just an interdisciplinary subject, which is why most students find it to be so challenging, because we're going to draw and tap into information that you've learned and maybe forgot. And so we're going to reawaken those neural connections. Okay, but anyway, so given this year and this academic calendar, we have a long break until the semester starts. We don't start up until practically the 1st of February. So with that time, I have 2 assignments for you. So one of the assignments for you to do over winter break is to read up on molarity and then buffers. So these are concepts that are covered in general chemistry. And don't worry, because I've got links to a Gen Chem book. I'm telling you about this app you should download and show you a little bit of what's on our Canvas webpage to help. But students really struggle with buffers, and I almost expect you to come in and know about them because it's covered in general chemistry and then it's touched on in organic again. And usually there's a severe lack of understanding when it comes to talking about buffers, buffer capacity, just the chemistry behind acids and bases. And I'm not talking Lewis acid and base, that's just all reserved for organic. I'm just talking about Bronsted-Lowry, which is proton donors, proton acceptors. That is the majority of biochemistry. All the mechanisms we look at, it's protons moving. Okay, so we have proton donors and proton acceptors. So we really focus on only that definition of acids and bases. Okay, so you're going to read about molarity and acids and bases. And then the second task, and then at the end of that, I have a quiz for you to take. I think you get like 2 attempts on the quiz. You know, it's not to try to inhibit you by any means. It's just a test to see how much you've learned and how much you've retained. Okay, so there's that quiz to take. And then the second thing you need to do is you'll need to memorize the structure, the name, and the pKa values of the ionizable groups of the 20 amino acids. I've pre-recorded a lecture for you to watch where I draw them all out and I talk about their names and I give you some tidbit factual information about them. It's about 35 minutes long, this video. So you'll need to do that. So when you come to class on Thursday, I think it's Thursday, January 28th, you'll have a quiz over the 20 amino acids. So you'll have to draw their structures. I might ask for the name, you just don't know. But it's either going to be structures, drawing the amino acid, giving me some part of their name. There's 3 names for every one. It's a full name, a 3-letter code, and a 1-letter code. And then also telling me the pKa values. There's only 9 values you have to know, because not every amino acid has ionizable side chains coming off the side chains. Okay, so let me show you a little bit though in Canvas, and then I'll show you this app on the phone you can download for the textbook, the general chemistry textbook that you can use. All right, so let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so when you log into Canvas and you go to the biochemistry page, I'm actually going to get rid of most of the stuff over here. You don't need to see a lot of this stuff, but here's the what to do over winter break. So you found it. Here's the video right here and under this welcome to biochemistry. So just make sure you complete the following over winter break. You study the OpenStax General Chem Review module below that I've created. Look, it's right here. Here's all the stuff. And then at the end of it, you'll take the buffer quiz. And then you need to memorize the name, structures, and pKa values of the 20 amino acids. And I've provided a recorded lecture below, like I said. Okay. So here's the module. And so there is an online textbook for lots of classes, and it's through OpenStax. So I would suggest So actually here I have links. So these little hyperlink things, that's a hyperlink, that's a hyperlink. I have the hyperlinks to the different chapters. So in chapter 3, one section of chapter 3 of the OpenStax general chemistry book, this talks about molarity. So that's a refresher because we in biochemistry are talking about everything in water, everything's aqueous. So we have concentrations of things in moles per liter. So molarity, you have to be familiar with it. So when you when you click on that page in Canvas, right, here is the chapter, it's 3.3 from the OpenStax book. So you could scroll around and read it in here. It also, they work a lot of sample problems, and I suggest you look at these because the buffer quiz has sample problems and such. Okay, so you can do it that way. I also, though, oops, sorry, we go back to the home. I also have pulled the sections and created my own. It's like duplicating. I can't tell you why I did it, but I started to do it this way first, and then I figured out I could link it. So I just kept everything here. So here's like the web page. I think it's easier to read on your phone, this part of all that information. So this is that section, you know, this content was taken directly from OpenStax, and that could link you out externally to it onto a new like web page. And so here's all that information with some sample problems, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you're gonna review molarity, which is chapter 3, section 3, and then chapter 14, which is acid-base equilibria. So here's just the section titles: Bronsted-Lowry acid bases, pH and POH, relative strengths of acid bases, polyprotic acids, and buffers. Then there's a little summary here, quick summary of like what all those sections covered. And then here you can take the quiz. So click on this to take the buffer quiz. It's 9 questions long. I will have a due date. It'll be due probably the end of the very first day of class. And again, like I said, I'll give you like 2 attempts and your best score will be kept. Okay, so you do all that. And actually, while I'm here, let me show you real quick this. I'm going to switch over to my phone here. So if you have a smartphone, which I know most of you do, you can download the OpenStax. Oops. Sorry, give me a second. Jeez, it was going so seamless. All right, share my screen. Start now. Yes. Come on. What? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is my phone. That's my daughter, Isla. Best background ever. Okay, so, but you can download this OpenStax. See, it's this icon right here. I've got right here, this OpenStax. So you can download OpenStax and download it with the SE. That's Study Edge. Okay. You might enter in your Georgetown College. It might ask you to create an account. So just use your Georgetown credentials, but then you can select your college. And so you can go to school and you can type in Georgetown College. And here's the college courses. So these are all the books that are available via OpenStax. Okay. So we use Chemistry 2E, that's 2nd edition, not the Adams First. It just rearranges the chapters, honestly. But the one that's the chapters corresponding what I did was Chemistry 2E. So if you click on Chemistry 2E, here you are. This is the book on your phone. So you can click on chapter 3, and then you can see it, section 3.3 was molarity. So again, like on your smartphone, you can read the chapter. This is kind of, I honestly sit on the couch and kind of like peruse and read this and, you know, look at the sample problems, so on and so forth. So there's chapter 3, and then you need chapter 14. So if you scroll down to the bottom, here you go, acid-base equilibria. And so essentially it's almost all of these sections. Hey, if you go above and beyond, I think I did all of them except section 14.4. Even if you did 14.4, it's not going to hurt. All right. So I suggest, you know, you can work some of or read, you can use your phone to do it. And if not, hey, let's say you want to see some lectures, right? You guys, maybe you like to watch lectures because I didn't record lectures for this. You might have your go-tos like Khan Academy Online, totally fine if you want to use it. But look at this. If you go back to that main screen, this screen with all the chapters right here, at the very bottom, right now I'm in textbook. If I can click on to the right down there, videos and more, I hope you could see it. Were you able to see that? Let me see if I can go back. Oh, no, just get out of here. Go back, go back. All right, so I don't know if this cursor works, but so down at the bottom of the phone, right, there's the textbook part, and then there's videos and more. So if you click on videos and more, this is where they have lectures. So you're in college courses, and that's great. Oh, they even have biochemistry ones. Wow, there's no biochem book yet. You're going to want to go to General Chemistry 1 and 2 to watch the lectures. So if you go to General Chemistry 1 and 2, get ready for finals with tutoring. No thanks. It looks like it brought me, okay, yeah, so it put me back at the textbook. So just click on the videos and more, and this is what you should see. So if I want to watch the videos for chapter 3, you can watch the lecture for chapter 3.3 about molarity. Okay, so it'll start playing the lecture.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be talking about,
okay, see, look at that. So you have lectures available to you. And like I said, hold on, let me get out all this. Well, let's just check out 14. Chapter 14 would be your acid-base equilibrium. And there you go. You have lectures for all of these sections. Oh yeah, definitely. If you can, you should even definitely look at the acid-base titrations for sure, because we do titration curves in biochemistry. Okay, just for fun, I want to go see what's in the biochemistry videos. What do they have here? Huh. This looks pretty similar to your textbook. Huh. Well, maybe we can use this, for some more lectures for class. I don't know. I'll have to scope it out. But anyways, learn something new every day, right? All right. So with all that said, so that's the OpenStax. Let me stop sharing. Okay, so that was on my smartphone using the OpenStax app. And I think it's great. I mean, even if you're studying for the MCAT, like you just have all those textbooks, boom, right on your smartphone. You can like look up something, watch a lecture real quick to remind you about it. It's just great. Okay, so back here. All right, so back on the Canvas page, right? So you're going to read about section 3.3 about molarity, and then pretty much all of chapter 14, and then take the quiz. Then the last thing to do is the 20 amino acids. So again, if there's an introduction part, it just kind of introduces it to you. But here I have recorded about, like I said, 35-minute lecture of the 20 amino acids. I'm drawing the structures, talking about the different naming systems and how they're named, and any of the pKa's. And then you can also download the PDF of that lecture that I drew. Cool. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to need to memorize the 20 amino acids and some information about them, and then read up on buffers and molarity and take a quick buffer quiz. Have a great winter break. It'll give you something to do. Cheers, you guys.